Of course you don't. So did you start already midnight?
No, I just used the wrong command. I typed caster instead of cast. Did Empty Blue say anything to you about the game later tonight?
No.
There's a game in 3 hours from now, and we don't have any streamers or casters for that match. So are you two available then?
Goodbye.
Okay.
I think it's too late for me.
Well, I mean, I can carry out the casting duties myself too. That's not a big deal. Like as long as we have a stream, I think that's the most important part. Because I really don't know if we can get anyone else to stream. The F is not online, and I think Vanil, I think, was also unavailable. And yeah, it's been rough. Are we live here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Niin otat sä sille vetovastuun?
Joo, mä voin niinku hoitaa suurimman osan.
Koska mä oon ihan vitun aivokuolleessa tilassa.
Joo, ihan sama. Siis kyllä mä oon käynyt tossa just parin tunnin päikkäreillä, niin en mä niinku oo silleen mitenkään erityisen Miksi? Voi hemmetti. Noniin, nyt se lähti. Bugas chat. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Spring 2020 EazyOne tournament, right here on Midnight Stream. I am The View, and I am here joined by Bam. Hello, Bam.
Hello.
And we have a matchup between teams Bootylicious and Viv. And on Team Bootylicious, we do have Zero, Martin, Percy, and GK. And on Team Viv, we have Madcat, Empty Blue, Maxix, and Sibylla. And, well, I for sure am very interested to see how this match will turn out, because I have to be honest, I am not quite sure how well the current infected side, Team Viv, will handle their marbles in this game.
Yeah, same for me. I'm not completely familiar with the team on infected side, but looking forward on seeing how it's.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Empty Blue to ready up, and we should be good to go then. And of course, the map we are going to play this match is Dark Carnival, the vanilla version. The teams had the option to pick from 3 different maps, and we're actually going live now. So Team Viv on Infected and Team Bootylicious on Survivor, and we'll see how they tackle this first attack.
And the first attack is Video Charges Chucky and the Smoker, and attack is going in. Charger getting shut down completely. And Chucky getting empty.
Yeah, bit of scratch damage from the jockey, but it was a fairly well shot down attack. All in all, it's a very difficult spot to land any attacks at all. So, and we are Gonna see if Coach can take the switch. Yes, he is. Nice crown from Percy. And Smoker getting a cheeky pull on Nick, but not much damage.
Unfortunately, the rest of the infected team didn't seem to be ready for this attack just yet, so Boomer's gonna go for a despawn, and I guess they're gonna attack at the...
Yeah, it's just a shame that the infected do have a 2-2 set up for this attack, so... Well,
nice.
It's a nice free boom.
Unfortunately, Charger missing, and Chucky's a bit late. And Ellis is not having any of that, so Chucky getting M2'd and melee to death.
Shooting me again.
Yeah, apart from some common damage, not much else. And tank is up, and we have it in the hands of Empty Blue. So we'll see how... Oh, and there's a pause.
Ah, the first pause of the tournament.
Yeah, everything's a first in this match, indeed.
I didn't expect it to come just so soon in the first map of the first game.
Well, I don't think anyone expected Zero to have a cramp, so that's a new thing in L4D2 streams. Oh, okay, and while we're waiting for Zero to ready up, no, wait, the infected are actually not ready up. I think their survivors did. Yeah, survivors are marked as ready. Okay, now we're going live. So I will hold off on what I was about to say. The tank is trying to get his hittables in, slowly but surely.
Ammo here.
And the survivors are sitting nice inside.
Boomer getting booked.
I'm a reload.
They do have a Charger and a Hunter still. Looks like they are maybe saving for the tank.
Reload.
Yeah, it surely looks like it. Survivors have been taking this map very cautiously, fairly well so far.
Oh, now the infected are going in and nothing comes out of it. Very nicely shut down.
Yeah, landing a nice M2 on the Hunter, as well as shutting down the Charger.
Although if they waited just like a few more seconds, they would have a third infected there.
Yeah, true. But I guess the infected had something else in mind.
And tank is now going to second pass in just a moment, I believe. So it's time to go in. The cars aren't working out for him. Maybe not.
Well, that car is actually in, so he might want to try to push the survivors. Yeah, he's going to do it from the sign.
Oh no, Jockey is going in prematurely, and now the attack is working with only 2 support. On second pass, 30%.
The attack is already down to 4k HP, so this is actually not looking too good for Team Viv. They do have a smoker full, but it's not really gonna do anything for them, because the Charger apparently didn't get a spawn.
Nice double punch from the tank, and whipping the next one, and unfortunately that's a dead tank. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there on the infected side.
Yeah, definitely. It was a shame that the Charger didn't get a spawn to help that smoker out. And yeah, the double punch was all the tank could possibly get in that situation. And the survivors are sitting at a huge health bonus right now, so the infected really need to figure out a way to chip away on that, unless they really want to be in a tough spot on their survivor hub.
And Hunter getting shut down, and we have a Boomer landing on 2 survivors. Chucky's still looking for... Oh, and he's landing on Coach. A bit too late, maybe, because there was the speed earlier, but it's some damage still.
Yeah, the infected attacks from Team Viv seem a bit staggered so far. I hope they will find some real cohesion moving forward in this match. Maybe even in the next attack.
Reloading. Good to go.
And next attack is a 2-2 Boomer, Speeder, Hunter, and Charger, and is going in. And Hunter lands, and the Speeder 2. Boomer is still trying to find a spawn, deciding to save her hat.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dark Carnival is known, at least this first map is known for the difficulty for the infected to actually grab spawns and attack together. It might take some time for them to actually land.
Well, you need to be very coordinated, and unfortunately it's not the case so far with the infected side. Maybe they will do amazingly as survivors.
No, we will surely hope so. We do hope that we see a tight matchup here.
And we have an attack going in. Boomer, Hunter, Chucky, and a Smoke. They did trigger the alarm car, so there is some horde coming in, and Smoker pulling L is behind the bus there for some death. Boomer lands one boom, and they are all gonna go inside the safe room.
Yeah, and the chapter score for Team Bootylicious, 1144. That, I think, is first of all, it is a very good score from this map. And secondly, I think Team Viv will have to do some real work to match that on their survivor map.
Yeah, the tank damage was kind of unfortunate for the infected team for the first half, because that could have been like a lot of damage if he managed to land those hittables, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So let's see if the other team can do any better as infected.
Shit, I used to go there when I was a kid.
Yeah, definitely. The infected attacks from Team Viv were mainly just some chip damage here and there. So we will see if Team Bootylicious lands some more devastating attacks, especially during the tank. I think they will look forward to
No, thank you. Everybody.
doing it a bit better, and
Oh,
we
hell,
are going
shit
live
ain't
here.
right. Be careful.
And we have the first attack coming in, same setup as the other team had, Chucky, Speeder, Charger, and the Smoke. And the attack is now going in. Smoker gets a brief pull on Nick. Charger is a bit delayed, getting shut down. And that's the attack.
Yeah, well taken by Team Viv. So we actually, well, let's see how Nick will handle the witch. And almost failing the crown, but getting the second shot off. He won't be instantly downed.
And
Well,
the
to be
survivor.
honest, the chip damage was 995, so we almost got it on the first shot anyway.
Survivors are not taking any chances with getting the mealies from the campfire, and they just proceed forward to this next attack at the bridge, which we have Smoker, Chucky, Spitter, and a Boomer for, so a 2-2.
Yeah, and another 2-2 for Team Bootylicious, as well as they've had a 2-2 at this point as well.
And attack is going in. Oh, Elle is getting pulled at the back, but Rochelle is awake and gets the clear fairly fast. Chucky getting M2'd.
And I must say that the survivor gameplay of Team Viv is so far pretty much as meticulous as for Team Bootylicious. And we do have the tank up in the hands of Martin, so it will be interesting to see, first of all, how he can get his hittables in. Well, yeah,
Pretty much a good job there.
Yeah, they do seem to be in the exact positions I think he was looking for. So he will probably... No, he actually will elect to throw some rocks first.
Yeah, I think he's actually trying to play this long, and the infected are going in. Smoker landed briefly, Charger gets molested, and the tank is indeed opting to play long for a bit here. So the survivors really need to hide right now and force the tank to commit.
Yeah, I think they would need to do that. it doesn't seem like they want to actually hide yet. For I'm not sure what reason. Well, some of them are hiding, and some of them aren't. They
And the
could already
next
have another hit.
Yes, Boomer landing, Charger missing, and Chucky getting M2'd. And I guess the Charger is going for despawn there.
Yeah.
But it's really time to make some decisions regarding this survivor tank play. Coach is giving him side all the time, and he's still on pass number 1 at 80%.
Yeah, I think the survivor team needs to figure out how they actually want to take this tank, because it seems like they have some different opinions on how to do it. And another somebody landing.
And Charger Hunter going in. Charger getting shut down nicely. Hunter landing briefly, and Rock is coming in, and Rock gets skidded. Actually, I'm surprised they are landing these boomers here. Usually it's kind of a difficult place to land the boomers.
Yeah, true. And the tank is keeping side very well. I think mainly from Coach, because from
And now
what
he's
I can
losing.
see... Yeah,
But
now
the
he's
next attack
losing.
is in. Oh no.
Yeah, this is already... I think the, like...
Oh,
And Rock landing on Rochelle as
that
well.
was... she
Clipping
got
her.
L4D2'd, I think.
And I will have to respond to a couple of messages. I'm sorry. So, Bam, you might as well take it from here for now.
Yeah, and the survivors are finally hiding, and tank is losing control. Next attack is Smoker, Hunter, and the Jockey. And they do have spawns, and Jockey has pre-spawned under the bridge there. The attack is going in. I feel like the tank is still trying to play this long, since he is at first pass.
Reloading.
He did not manage to land any rocks, so the survivors really need to go and hide right now, so they force the tank to be on second, which is exactly what they do.
Okay, and I am back in duty.
And the tank is finally on second control here. They do have a Charger Jockey and a Hunter to support the tank. I believe he's gonna go in with the...
Yeah, he will probably look to in-cap one or more of the survivors with a car to get an easier wipe. Because, well, to be honest, if you don't land a car here, it is pretty much... Well, not impossible to wipe, but very hard.
Nice. I mean, the car is nicely on the bridge right now. Tank is going for punches, landing one punch on Roselle.
Yeah, and actually, unfortunately, GK just crashed. At least it seems like it, so the Infected will only have 2 for support, and Coach actually going down from that punch. But that is pretty much the only damage this tank has been able to get so far. He does have a car right next to him, but it does look like the survivors can get the pickup here. Yes, getting the rock nicely right there.
A very unfortunate crash from one of his support players. But
Yeah.
he still does have the car, and he's looking to go in with the car right. Oh,
And very
oh.
close to hitting 2 of the survivors, actually. But yeah,
Actually,
tank ultimately
yeah.
going down.
He was pretty close to landing that car on Coach earlier as well, but he barely missed. But he did get punched to the in-cap later on, so I guess he's not too sad about it.
Yeah. And as it stands right now, the survivors are actually only 100 points behind in terms of bonus from this map. So if they can keep this up, they are very well in the game. And another going in, and then it was a single charge, I think. It looked like a double charge for a second. But yeah, the Jockey getting a lot of damage, as well as the Hunter, actually. So that was a very well coordinated attack from Team Bootylicious.
Yes.
And they're taking a massive hit. Right as I started to talk about their health bonus, yeah, it's way down. Over 200 points lost on that attack alone.
Yeah, that Jockey spear damage was a lot for Nick to take on. Next attack is up with Charger, Smoker, Speeder, and the Jockey. And looks like they're going in here. getting a brief pull, and everything else is shut down nicely. So they really need to keep this kind of survivor play up if they want to reach the safe room.
Yeah, I think they will indeed reach the safe room, but the infected do have one more attack to go. And actually, Midi, would you respec your boomer on my
Safe
screen?
house ahead.
Okay, Boomer.
You got a boomer.
And Boomer does land.
Yeah, not the big one.
And Speeder Charge Hunter. Oh my god, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is another devastating hit for their health bonus. The Team Bootylicious actually landing two very good attacks right at the end of the map, and only a 616-point score for Team Bib. It looked so good for them after the tank. They were only slightly behind Team Bootylicious, but at the end, yeah, they ate some huge damage from a couple of nice. I think the last attack was a double cap at least, and one
Double cap in this bit right in front of the safe room door.
Yeah.
But it's only the first map, of course, so we still have a lot of gameplay to see, and maybe it's just first game needing some warm up and getting their communications together, and I'm sure we can see a comeback.
Yeah, it is certainly possible. Rock Carnival is
Yeah, I saw him in 07. Front row
it's a map where you can definitely make some huge gains, especially I think, well, map 3 is a bit brutal maybe for comebacks, but map 4 definitely there is huge comeback potential. And even in this map, if they manage to get actually an early one with the early tank.
We have a 28% tank, so it's more than possible to get the early wipe.
And we are about to go live. Yes. And the first attack does have a boomer, and a smoker and a jockey and a charger.
And the infected are in the standard position on top of the safe room roof, and the smoker just doing some distraction from her.
Yeah, just chilling there behind the fence. Actually landing a double boom, but not much else landing.
Oh.
Well, the brief double cap with the smoker and the jockey. But yeah, now that the survivors have just about cleared that attack, the config we are playing right now, EazyOne, is the first tournament that we're playing on this config, and it is actually there are some very distinct similarities to Pro mod. So if you're thinking about like how to compare this to other configs, I would say that the old Pro mod would be something that's pretty close to this one.
Yes.
Except that the old Pro mod didn't have a damage bonus system, so that is one major thing that's been changed. And there is a tank up in the hands of Maxix.
Ooh, and a nice boomer landing onto two survivors. Yes, indeed, this config is kind of a mix of zone mod config and the tier 1 config with the Hunter M2s and the bonus.
Yeah, but there are still like some things that are massively different from zone mod. Mainly I can think about the spitter damage and how it works, and also the reload. I'm sorry, the reload on the SMGs is slow, unlike in Chrono.
No ladder shooting and...
Yeah. So there are some major differences.
And we do have an attack up. Charges Smoker Jockey just going in. Tank trying to land a rock, barely misses Nick right there. Smoker is having kind of a long pull on Rochelle. She doesn't get clear.
Yeah, having some trouble right there.
Reloading.
Maybe with their magazines depleted. But yeah, this tank is yet to land a rock, and well, to be honest, it is kind of hard to land a rock unless the support gets a very good attack.
I'm a
here, and well, in all honesty, it is such a familiar map that landing any devastating attacks here is kind of difficult. Isn't it coming out?
And Tank is still on the first pass, 35%. Charger missing, and we do have a hunter behind the survivors going for Rochelle. And Rochelle M2's the hunter, so that would...
Well, the tank, at least the tank is managing to keep his frustration up. I don't know if he actually got a control rock in at some point. Yeah, he must have, because he has 24 points. So
yeah,
yeah,
he landed one more.
But yeah, he's only down 700 HP, so it has been some decent chip damage, but he might have to actually commit fairly soon, and it looks like he will. Maybe. He's electing to throw one more rock.
And the tank actually doesn't have the hittable that usually the tanks here have, the forklift from behind this building. So
Yeah,
he's
true.
gonna go all in with the punches and hope for... And for the support we have a Chucky Hunter and a Smoker.
Yeah, there's a decent tri-cap for this, and there is a pause from Empty Blue. And an apparent crash. Okay.
Tank is opting to throw rocks instead of going for the punches with the support. I'm not sure if I completely agree with this.
Yeah, this support didn't really manage to do anything. I think there might have been some problems indeed with the supposed crash we had, or some sort of like lag, because the other infect did not really attack with the tank apart from the smoker. So Team Bootylicious standing once again at a very big health bonus, so this really does mean that Team Viv will start to have to land some huge attacks if they want to actually be in this.
And speaking of attacks, we have a 2-2 with Speeder, Boomer, Charger, and a Chucky. Charger getting completely shut down, Chucky getting shut down, Boomer landing onto one survivor, and Speeder is chilling behind the fence now.
Yeah, but and ultimately getting kicked by Coach, so they will have a bit of a staggered spawn.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate that the Speeder died there, because in this next alley attack, the Speeder is actually pretty good if they can get a Charger to accompany it. But then again, they might get a 3-1 now instead of a 2-2, so I guess that's a win of its own.
Yeah, and actually the Boomer hopping in there, getting a nice tri-boom, so the infected might... Well, no, it looks like they're still... Okay, the Hunter is going in, but nothing else. Yeah, the Jockey and the Smoker do seem to be waiting for the Witch that has spawned.
Or maybe they want to attack at the ladder choke and are really praying for a Charger. And now they want to get a play with the Witch. And the Witch has been triggered by Coach. Oh, and Coach unfortunately fails it.
They do manage to get Coach down indeed, and that is quite the hit on their damage bonus. They had it quite intact before that attack. Oh no, actually it is still at 95%, so... Yeah, but now if Coach gets hit, it will all be on the damage bonus.
And for the next attack, we have a Chucky, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer. And the attack is going in. Charger missing. Smoker got a pull inside the toilets, and Chucky getting empty. Boomer coming. Yeah, Boomer coming in last and dying last, so that's probably good news for the infected team, as they will not have a 2-2 in the next.
Yeah, it is definitely preferable to not have many 2-2s in this map, because there aren't that many chokes that you can actually use effectively.
Yes, survivors have triggered the event, and we have Chucky, Hunter, Speeder, and a Smoker. It's a fairly good attack in this corner, and the attack is going in. Chucky landing nicely, and Speeder. Well, it was a momentarily 2-cap. Unfortunately, I didn't see a lot of damage going on, so it was a nice try, but the survivors are proving themselves to be really strong.
Yeah, indeed, they're taking these attacks fairly well. The Infected have managed to chip on Coach's damage bonus quite a lot, so the overall bonus isn't actually that high anymore. But apart from that single boom, they do get inside the safe room without any problems. And it is another over 400 bonus map for the survivors. Actually, on that note, one of the things that this config has introduced is the tank
Midnight Riders are supposed
tank
to play
extra.
Never heard of them.
The extra points for killing the tank.
Hell
So, for example, in this map, the survivor team got 100 extra points for killing the tank. So the more damage you deal on the tank, the more points you will gain. And I'll just ready up there. And yeah, if you kill it, you obviously get the
Can you forgive me?
full
Forgive me,
bonus
okay?
on the tank, and it varies by the map distance, I believe.
And we have a first attack going in. Smoker pulling code. Chucky landing on Ellis in the safe room. No one is clearing him.
Getting some real nice damage, and they still have some trouble clearing it. Yeah, now they finally get it. So
30 damage onto Ellis right there in the safe room. That's a lot, to be honest,
Yeah.
for this first attack.
Reloading.
yes, indeed. So Alice is already 3 punches away from going down. In terms of the tanks that is about to spawn, and the Infected do have a 2-2, landing a nice single boom.
Hunter landing, Smoker landing, Charger getting nice scratches on the coach and getting a charge as well. Oh, that is a lot of damage.
I'm actually sorry, I thought there was a 2-2, but mid was still a... and Bam, would you actually... I'll respect myself, just in case.
You can also record stop on console, it fixes the issue. Although I do agree that Midnight is a boomer.
Yeah, that is actually a thing that I wasn't aware of. That it does.
Oh, a Charger, Charger landing, Chucky going for some scratches, Boomer landing a double boom.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
the versus tank has actually managed to get a... Well, the trash can is actually not in a very good spot, in all honesty, so he might want to have to just use this forklift. And yes, it is actually in a very good spot. So if the tank manages to... Well, no, actually the survivors can just back into the open area whenever the tank decides to commit, but there's another attack going in, and the Hunter getting some actually very good damage on Ellis. The survivors really having trouble clearing him, but apart from that, the Smoker and Charger get pretty much destroyed.
Well, right now they have 2 survivors under the HP of 40, so they are slow, except one is bleeding out. Tank is still keeping sight on first pass 15%. And it's looking okay for the tank since the chip is only 12%. So we have the next attack going in with the Hunter, Chucky, and a Charger. Chucky landing, Hunter landing, and will the tank land the rock? There it goes, and oh, actually, the tank went to second pass right before he landed this rock, so he's now on second.
Oh my god, and a Hail Mary garbage can hitting Ellis right there, instantly incapping him. To be honest, he was fairly low anyway, but still a very nice hit on him. And the tank will probably move in now, with pushing the survivors towards the forklift. Hopefully. Well, actually, getting a nice in cap with the trash can onto Nick, and I think, yeah, the tank will try to get a kill off of here, because if it manages to do that, then the survivors will be in very dire straits. I think he does have the HP for it. Oh, but he was greedy and he tried to go for Coach right there. He does get the incap with the rock. And he failed to get the kill on Nick. So the survivors actually are still in this, unless the jockey manages to troll the pickup. Well, not enough.
He's hanging on to his last HP here, but Ellis managed to pick Nick up, and they are going forward now. But their health bonus is not looking good.
Yeah, the survivors' health is pretty decimated at this point, but at least they didn't die there. So that is something that the survivors can be at least glad about. So they can actually try to get some distance points, even though they probably won't finish this map with much of any health bonus to speak of. But yeah, that was indeed a very lucky pickup from the survivor team onto Nick. Nick was, I think he had 2 HP when he was incapped, so he did 1 tick away from dying, so they managed to get him up just in time.
And the next attack is going in with Chucky, Speeder, Hunter, Boomer, and we will see how it goes. The survivors are slowly moving forward. They don't know there is a Boomer out there. Oh, Boomer gets popped! And it's
incapping Nick in the process.
Survivors really need some pills in order to make it to the safe room.
Yeah, Nick is already black and white. I'm sorry, my voice is acting up again. Nick is black and white indeed, and yeah, the infected maybe do have 1 more hit before the survivors can get to any pills, so they might actually manage to kill Nick off. They get a good attack here.
Oh, there is actually pills in that room, I didn't know. Rochelle gets the pills for Nick, who is black and white. And attack is going in. Boomer and a Hunter landing a double cap. Smoker is gonna save himself, maybe for the witch.
Yes, it does look like it. And there are 2 people, black and white now, on Team Viv, both Nick and Coach.
They do have 1 more set of pills in that small pills cabinet. And let's see how it goes with this witch when the infected team have a Speeder, Boomer, Smoker, and a Hunter. And the witch is triggered. Nick gets a nice crown. Smoker is shut down.
And Ellis unfortunately goes down from the Hunter, so that will be that will be a 3rd survivor, black and white, and he will be slow for, well, at least until they get another set of pills.
And the next set of pills, I believe, is in the ammo pile room up ahead.
Yeah, it is in the cabinet.
That's one thing that's different about this config and zone mode is that the pill spawns are static, so they always spawn in the same place.
Yeah, and a nice heat actually, and a nice boomer pop too going on. But the survivors are having some trouble clearing the smoker, and that is some real damage onto Nick, who is black and white. I'm sorry.
Black and white.
Yes. Maybe someone can maybe tell that English is not my native tongue.
Oh, I never knew.
Yeah, neither did I.
I'm so excited to see if these survivors will actually make it to the safe room with 3 people being black and white. Next attack going in with Charges, Smoker, Chucky, and a Speeder. And the Horde, since this is an event.
Well, the Charger does land onto Rochelle, but that does not really... Well, actually, they might get a... No, they won't get a kill off on anyone so far.
I was so sure...
Yes?
I was so sure Coach was going to be dead right there.
Yeah, it did indeed seem like it. But hitting Rochelle there with the Charger didn't actually do much for the infected, because they need to be killing off these survivors that are black and white, and Rochelle is not one of them.
And attack going in, Chucky killing Ellis, Charger killing the other survivor.
Yeah, the chip level going on the charger, and the jockey gets hammered by the frying pan, so the remaining survivors, Nick and Rochelle, might actually... Well, Nick is so hard that he might not make this, but it looks like Rochelle wants to... Yeah, she's electing to get to the safe room alone, and the smoker almost getting a pull off.
Rochelle is indeed out, leaving Nick for dead. Haha.
Yes, the most original joke. But yeah, the score delta after this map 2 is over 800 points in favor of Team Bootylicious. So at this point, Team Vib will have to think of some strategies how to get Team Bootylicious, well, preferably wiped in this next early tank that we have at 27%, which will probably be the maintenance room up ahead.
Yes, indeed. Actually, the tank is 27%. And I do believe in the wipe. And I do believe everything is possible, and the comeback is more than possible. Everything is possible in the game of L4D2, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. There have been some massive comebacks that we've seen during the history of this game, so definitely anything can happen.
In the end, the point difference is only just a bit above 800, so it's doable with this bonus system that is over here. They just really need to play carefully as Survivor and get their act together as Infect.
Reloading.
Yes, indeed. And we are still waiting on a couple of people to ready up here, and we should be live very soon.
Maybe they are discussing tactics. Hunter is trying to get a cheeky spawn from the safe room. Looks like. Perhaps they tried to... I don't know, actually. Not gonna speculate anything. Maybe he's gonna leave it.
Yeah, to be honest, the survivors might block his spawn for quite some time, so he might not be able to get anything off of that
Looks
spawn.
like he's going for an early boom and does manage to land on Ellis there, which is a job well done. It's kind of difficult place for a boomer here. Rochelle is indeed blocking the safe room spawn, so Hunter has no business over there. Maybe they're gonna wait out for their last infected to have a spawn and get a better in the tunnel.
Yes, indeed, and the survivors still clearing out some commons here. And the attack, maybe slowly going in, yes. But, well, there's a brief double cap from the smoker and the jockey, but not much damage at all to speak of.
To be honest, I kind of almost disagree with attacking so soon. I would have waited for the survivors to be a bit further in the tunnel to really maximize that speed damage instead of letting them still hang out in the open air.
Yeah, I do agree. It might have been some more damage later on, but the infected wanted to go in fast. So that's the price they paid. And
Well,
there's a 2-2 setup.
Let's try
Yes,
the
indeed.
maintenance room.
Boomer, Speedy Hunter, and the jockey for this next attack. Jockey getting shut down. Hunter actually landing and spit onto that Hunter.
Got me.
Only a few ticks though. And the Boomer is saving himself for the tank. And the tank will be Sibylla.
Yeah, it does look like the survivors want to go back because there are way too many commons in the maintenance room.
Oh,
And it might
nice.
double them, actually. The tank might commit on this.
Well, the tank definitely should try to commit. Unfortunately, Smoker cannot get the separation full on to code. And now
they do actually manage to get the pull off on Nick, and this is the first corner that the tank has. And the quad punch from the tank.
And the horde is still coming from the front. The survivors might be really hoarded in just a moment.
Yeah. And Nick is actually pretty much dead because he's boom. Yes.
Tank still sitting at 2k HP. And the support needs to go in and help the tank.
Well, they're just taking the tank's target the entire time, so that's not the ideal way to deal with this.
Well, meanwhile, Nick is in fact dead. Tank is gonna try to get the in cap on L, and he just barely died.
Yeah, but oh well, there's a charger landing on Ellis, almost in capping him. But yeah,
This
Nick,
is
with having
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Nick is dead, and the rest of the survivors on very poor health, and a boom going off on the in-cap survivor as coach. So yeah, they're looking forward to trolling this pickup with the Hunter and the Spitter as well, but the Spitter actually getting M2'd, so he doesn't get the spit off, and they still have a smoker to intercept here. And
this is exactly what the infected team needs. They needed to get a lot of damage in this tank, and they managed to do just that. So it's still possible for a comeback for most of them.
yeah, the Team Viv needs a quick wipe on these remaining survivors right now, and after that they will have to do some work on their survivor half to close the score delta, and a single boom going off on Ellis.
And with that boomer, we have a Spitter, Smoker, and a Hunter. Smoke, nice double cap landing behind Ellis. It's clueless. Ellis doesn't know what to do. He's boomed at the, and that's 2 in caps.
Yeah, this is devastating for Team Bootylicious. They really do want to grab some more distance points here.
And now they have a charger spawning. Unfortunately missing Ellis, but did manage to prevent on the pickup on road and harassing them right now.
And managing to get the punch on Ellis to send him down, and the jockey is still waiting for, well, ultimately getting shot down by Coach, but Rochelle is now dead because of the boom that went on. So.
And Hunter going in.
And a nice feed from Percy, who is Coach.
They really need to either get Coach kept right now, and they do.
Oh.
Wow, what a play from the infected team right here. It was all sorts of things going on, but they managed to get the wipe in the end.
Yes, that might be an actual clutch wipe that they got off on Team Bootylicious. So if Team Viv now on the survivor half can pull this tank fight off with, let's say, like a couple of punches max and not getting destroyed by the tank support, then they will be in a very good position to maybe even make the safe room, in all honesty.
Indeed, they just need to be very careful about the boomer, and actually, yeah, if they manage to avoid the boomer and the separation smoker when they are going back, it will look slightly better for them.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of potential for the infected to disrupt the survivors as they are heading back from the tank spawn, because it is, well, I wouldn't say it's really advised to take the tank in the maintenance room. At least Team Bootylicious elected to move back because of the amount of comments that were in there that
Yes.
they didn't manage to clear in time.
Yes, indeed, it's a very risky kind of place to be in with all those comments a tank can capitalize within the maintenance room, but I've seen it happen there, like killing the tank there even with all the...
Yeah, it honestly, like, it's possible that they do want to take the tank there, but we shall see
Reloading.
what Team Viv wants to do.
Hey, I'm reloading.
And still waiting on this first attack here. It is only a 2-2 setup, so... Well, the Hunter getting shot down, and even though there's a single boom going off, the Smoker doesn't really get anything. Yeah, it's 0 damage attack so far.
And the survivors are now pushing through the tunnel of love with a lot of comments coming from behind. Next attack is about to be up with a Hunter, Chucky, Spitter, and a Boomer, so another 2-2. Let's see if they also opt to save this Boomer for a tank or if they really try to get this attack. I mean, with this setup, I would just probably save the Boomer since this 2-2 is not very worthwhile on its own.
Yeah, it does look like the Boomer is actually saving. So that is what Team Bootylicious is doing here. GK's Boomer is waiting
Try the maintenance room.
inside one of the rooms at the side. Well, it does look like the Team Viv wants to clear out these commons and take the tank inside this maintenance room.
Well, it is an easy chip, sort of, or are they just baiting? But now Nick is behind on his home.
There is actually, yeah, a huge split here.
Oh my god, what is happening?
This is not the most efficient place to take a tank, and Ellis is gonna go down. Well, not yet, and he managed to take pills because he got on top of those swans.
Ellis seems to be in a safe place right now. Boomer landed on the one survivor. Coach is getting punched. Now Ellis left his safe place and he's about to get punched. And he's back on top of the swans. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, this split is very devastating for Team Viv here.
But the tank is almost dead at 8% HP. Down to 3.
Yeah, even though there are 2 incaps, yeah, this tank does seem all but dead here.
And Nick and Rochelle are opting to stay at the maintenance room instead of pushing the tank, which leaves a window open for the Hunter to go and kill.
Well, he might get it up because the survivors are... Yeah.
No.
Oh, there's a double cap going on Nick and Rochelle. I'm not actually sure what they were... Maybe they were scared of the Smoker that spawned in the back, because they did have an opportunity to go and save the incap survivors over in the corner, but they just stopped moving.
And the tank had like 150 HP. They could kill it so fast and save their teammates. Oh, this is devastating.
Yeah, I think the survivors weren't aware of how low the tank was in terms of HP. They definitely should have just, in hindsight, they should have just pushed the tank very hard and tried to get the in-cap survivors up. And now the score delta is still, unfortunately for Team Viv, over 800 points, so it didn't change much from the previous map.
Reloading.
So they do have a lot of work to do in this map, especially with a 63% tank spawn. I think they would have wanted an earlier tank or an early wipe, because that's pretty much what they would need at this point. And before we go live here, Empty Blue wants to give a shout out to Grikington Fox. I am not sure if I pronounced that correctly, and I'm sorry if I did not, but there it goes. And we are going live?
Yes, we are. And the attack is Boomer, Charger, Smoker, and a Hunt.
And it looks like they are wasting the Boomer here. They want a Spitter for this attack.
Reloading.
I mean, they do have a Charger and a Hunter, so they do have some spit damage potential here. And the Charger actually missing his spawn, so that is an unfortunate
That
thing
would
to
have
happen
been.
to Team Bib.
Yeah, it would have been such a nice damage there if the Charger actually managed to land on Coach, who was smoked with the spitter in the corner. Unfortunately, he managed to save himself and jump off from the spit.
Heads up.
Yeah, so much potential, but in the end it turned out to be very little damage because just one missed spawn.
Reloading.
And there is another 2-2 setup on the infected side. And the Hunter getting that stopped pretty nicely there. Just a single boom going off and a short smoke on one of the survivors. But not much damage to speak of yet again.
To be honest, I'm noticing that Team Biv has a lot of these 2-2s, so they really need to pay more attention to their stacking order, because I feel like at least like 50% of their attacks are 2.
Yeah, definitely. That is a good point.
Speaking of attacks, we have a Charger going in first, getting mauled to death. Sneaky Hunter coming from behind, scratching Rochelle. Smoker pulling front. Boomer getting.
Reloading.
Yeah, apart from that double boom and a couple of scratches from the Hunter, not much else happening. But there is the final tank for Team Bib up in the hands of Mad Cat. And, well, at this point, seeing as the score delta is 1100 points, Team Bib pretty much needs a wipe here. That's the deal, and I think they know it.
To be fair, I feel like this tank spot can be like a hit or miss, depending on what kind of support you end up having. That Boomer will be difficult to land here, and the Smoker is kind of bad as well. Tank really needs to get the corner relatively fast if he wants to.
Yeah, well, the Boomer actually B-hopping in there and getting a single boom on Rochelle, so yeah, the tank looks like it wants to maybe commit on this horde.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for a bit of comments to trickle in, which is not a huge amount by the looks of it, and he's going in with the support of Jockey and the Charger so far, missing the punches. Charger is missing, finally getting some punches onto getting juked now.
Yeah, it turned out all wrong for Team Viv. The Charger went alone way before the Jockey did, and they didn't even have a third spawn yet because of the Boomer had died just seconds before.
Such a shame, because I really felt like they had a good opportunity there with landing that Boomer, and they would get the 3 tri-cap even.
Yeah, Ella's getting the crown
Get ready.
on the Witch, so at this point it does look like it is indeed a victory for Team Bootylicious. At this point it's very difficult to land. Well, maybe the Infected will prove me wrong, but I'd say it's very difficult to land any devastating attacks in this area because of how the survivors can just camp on top of all of the railings and construction items and whatnot.
Gotta reload.
And the health bonus still at almost 800, so this will be a very, very big score for Team Bootylicious, and the Infected do have only one attack to go.
Heads up.
The attack will be Smoker, Boomer, Charger, and a Jockey. Smoker unfortunately cannot get the pull on Ellis because Ellis is behind the scaffolding. Charger missing. Jockey landing briefly onto Rochelle. Smoker is still trying his hardest. Finally gets Rochelle, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, this chip damage at the end is not really helping Team Bib, and Team Bootylicious with a total score in Dark Carnival 3,613. And if I'm not mistaken, even with a perfect health bonus, yeah, there is no way that Team Viv can come back anymore. And that is, yeah, that is such a shame for Team Viv.
Well, it's been a good match at least. Let's see. I think they will try until the end. I hope so. Last map was just for so many times I thought this is it. Now they are coming back. Something just goes a bit wrong in the end.
Yeah, Team Viv had distinct opportunities to capitalize on the mistakes and other like stuff that went wrong for Team Bootylicious, but yeah, in the end, Bootylicious pulled it off. And well, let's see how Team Viv decides to take on this Survivor Gem. Even though they have already lost, they still might have their pride in the game at least. So maybe they will try to at least beat the other team's score.
That's what I'm hoping to see. Smoker landing, it's a double cap landing, and Charger is not sparing Nick at all with those scratches. That's a heavy amount of damage on.
Indeed, in this config, the Charger Punch still does 10 damage. I think in Zone mod it does only 6, if I'm not mistaken. So that is, yeah, that is way more than in Zone mod. So the Smoker pulling a target for the Charger too.
And Coach is separated behind, getting. They managed to clear him, but Ellis is smoked. They are splitting and.
Yeah, it honestly looks like Team Viv doesn't really have their heart in the game anymore, just playing up like that. But yeah, as I was saying, it definitely makes a lot of sense to pull some Smoker victims for the Charger Punches in this config.
Indeed, and the next attack is up with Hunter, Spitter, Charger, and Boomer. So we do have a 2-2-4 Team Bootylicious. Boomer manages to land onto one survivor, Charger missing, Hunter getting skeeted, Spitter has nothing to do, and that's the attack.
Oh shit, sorry. Hurry it up.
Yeah, and there is the final tank of the entire game up in the hands of GK. And, well, let's see if Team Bootylicious can pull off a wipe in this difficult area.
They do kill off the Smoker, which I kind of agree with. Can be difficult in this big room with all those poles that, columns that the survivors can dodge the tongue behind. They do manage to boom one victim behind there, which is Ellis. And Tank is now waiting maybe for the last spawn so he can go in.
One of the survivors might have crashed, and yeah, indeed, looks like it. There is a pause. And since we are extremely bored right here in the casting room, of course we are just fooling around in the spec chat.
Well, it's been a game of crashes and pauses, but that's nothing new in the game of L4D2.
Yeah, Pause for Dead, that is the name of this game. Since 2009. Well, in all honesty, I'm not sure when pauses were first available in this game. Someone maybe in the stream chat will know more about that.
Long time ago. That sounds very specific.
Indeed.
Last week, oh.
And Max X loading back in the game, and we should be good to go soon. And see what this tank will be able to do right here.
Weapons.
And yeah, Max X managed to connect to Rochelle. And the tank does go in. And getting a corner on Nick.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. The tank really needs to get the corner early. Now the support is going in after one in Kappa.
Oh, nice melee skill from Coach on the Hunter.
Yes, tank getting the second in Kappa on Rochelle, and
That
in
is
the
the
end,
wipe going on
the
Team
wipe.
Viv. So a valiant effort from both teams, but Team Bootylicious emerging victorious from this Dark Carnival matchup, and the first match of the EazyOne tournament here. And the ending scores 3,613 to 1802, so that is essentially double. Bootylicious doubling the score of Team Viv here.
Well, it was an interesting game. I believe we have another game tonight, which is Team Anoxity versus Girls. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it is Anoxity versus Girl XOXO, so that will be another match to look forward to, and I believe that match is played in the parish. So we shall see if the game will be streamed. I think F might be available for that game. So yeah, we will notify about the channel that the match will be streamed on.
All right.
Yeah, until then.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for the stream. Bye bye.